Welcome back, Starladder fans. We're here with our third game of the day, Cloud9 versus VP.Polar, a.k.a. NVMI, a.k.a. GoBlack's Team of Destruction. David Parker, what's the good word, man? It's been the day of upsets, but this one's actually a little bit more of an even matchup coming in.
Yeah, a little bit more of an even matchup. GoBlack's team took the Game Show League, a LAN tournament with some of the other top CIS teams, Navi and Empire being there most noticeably. So a GoBlack win here, I would say, is an upset, but a very small upset. They're definitely a team who take games off big teams and have proven they're up there with at least close to the tier 1 teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So GoBlack doing the drafting for VP today. EE, of course, drafting away for Cloud9. Scandal is the only one here tagged up as a stand-in, though I believe he is an official member of their roster right now. GoBlack, Illidan, Scandal, DK Phobos, and Lil. So it should be a good one. Already things a little bit different in this GoBlack draft. He gets the Death Prophet, but second pick Visage. I like it.
I like Visage as a hero. Surprised to pick it so early. It's definitely not a deny pick, because if they didn't want Cloud9 picking it up, they just ban it out on the second stage. That was going into the second ban stage. So yeah, something they decided they just want to fit into their draft. Does fit pretty well into these kind of 5-man death ball pushes just because of his damage output and the power of the familiars. But Cloud9 have something planned. They go for a Beastmaster, which is often highlighted. I playing like a 4-position Beastmaster, sometimes in like a dual offlane case, often picked up with something like the Tinker, although we'll have to see how well a Tinker could fit into this draft. They've already got the Void there, who needs a bit of farm himself if it's not going to be an offlane Void.
And the Tinker's also been banned out, so I'm going to have to stop you right there.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I agree, though. That's like, I would say, well, I haven't seen Beastmaster 10 times, but I would say the vast majority of the time, that's what it's for. You BOT to the Hawk and fly around. What do you think about just the casual position for Beastmaster? I'm not the biggest fan. I haven't really seen it work that well in the games that I've seen it executed, but does it have some merit?
It's okay. It's kind of, I think it's more like when you do these dual lane setup, it works okay. If you have him in the offlane with like some kind of hero that's getting a bit of farm, he can stack the Ancients, come back to the lane, offer a little bit of help. But yeah, I'm mixed about it. It's very hit or miss.
Yeah. I mean, the Primal Roar is a great ability, cuts through BKBs, sets up kills pretty easily. It is often paired with the Invoker also, which is something that we've seen Eternal Envy playing at least somewhat here in the last week or so of Starladder. I think he's played it definitely once, if not twice. So the Primal Roar does make good Sunstrike setups. Could be something they're interested in.
Yeah, I'm really curious what they're pairing with this Beastmaster, because right now there's not much incentive to pick Beastmaster against these two VP heroes. It's not really needed with the other two picks. So there's sure it synergizes with the Skywrath Mage, but Skywrath Mage works fine with the Chronosphere. Like, I guess it's just another option as far as you can roar into Skywrath ulti, but that's not reason enough to pick the Beastmaster. It makes me think Cloud9 have something planned with this 4th and 5th pick. Be it some kind of initiator who can benefit a lot from the Hawk vision, or maybe some kind of boost to travel here. I don't know what it is, but I feel like Cloud9 have got to have some kind of plan for this Beastmaster to pick it here.
Yeah.
Just based on all the other heroes, because there's no real reason to pick Beastmaster 3rd right now, at least right now with what we're seeing.
Well, Virtus Pro take their time with that 3rd pick, but they settle on the Centaur, a hero that GoBlack is quite fond of. So, not a crazy pick. Will pair nicely with the Visage and give those familiars a little speed there.
Yeah, I like the Centaur. And yeah, GoBlack, as you said, he's very fond of this hero. I think it's probably one of his most picked offlaners for Phobos. So we'll see what Cloud9 do now. They're thinking about this one. I don't know if they were maybe considering. So I like the Centaur with the Beastmaster, because Centaur is very reliant on having vision of heroes to initiate on. So the Hawk kind of benefits the Centaur quite a lot. But I doubt that's what Cloud9 were necessarily banking on picking up themselves.
Yeah,
I'm sure Envy knows GoBlack likes the Centaur.
Yeah. Is there any chance at this being like a Fada Beastmaster, like a core mid, just farming it up? Well, I guess with the Ember Spirit pick, probably a lot less likely. But
less likely, but still possible. Like, you could run Ember safe lane with the Void off lane, but I think Beastmaster, a very forgotten mid hero. He's very powerful mid, has great base damage, great armor. Obviously, good lane control with the ability to spam out the lane to control runes or just clear the wave and farm quickly.
Yeah. Well, here's
Cloud9's
another hero that
turn
Go
to
Black is
ban.
quite fond of, the Abaddon. Pretty good with the Centaur. That is some scary laning action there. You throw an Aphotic Shield on him. Centaur pretty much has perfect control about when he wants to break the shield because he can just double edge himself, so it just increases that burst
10
damage from
seconds
double edge
remaining.
by a
And
huge
so
factor.
nice.
Yeah.
So nice against these Cloud9 heroes.
5 seconds
Counter
remaining.
Raw, it's a support who doesn't get blown up in a Chronosphere because of his ultimate, so you
Reserve
can't really
time.
focus him down to start off a fight. He's pretty like you can Chronosphere him with someone else so you can kill the other hero. But yeah, this is a really nice pickup. It's a great hero for this draft as well as for countering these Cloud9 heroes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. For some reason in my head, I was thinking Primal Roar was like one of those special spells that Aphotic Shield doesn't cleanse because it goes through BKB, but I guess that's just a load of bollocks, huh?
It's
Radiant
like all
team
all
ban.
stuns.
All
It's
stuns, yeah.
gone.
Cloud9's
No,
I
turn
think
to
there may be
yeah.
a few exceptions that aren't popping up to my mind, but it's pretty much gets rid of
Every stun,
most
yeah.
things. Not Doom. Doom
Yeah.
cannot be a fully shielded off. That would be a bit too imba.
Right. Yeah, I guess in my head I was sort of thinking of it sort of on a similar wavelength to the big Doom Ultimate, but yep. Good stuff here for VP.Polar. I wonder, what is Polar? Why, of all the words for like
10
their second
seconds
squad?
remaining.
Well,
Just,
their little mascot's a polar bear, I guess.
oh,
seconds
is it
And
a?
if you look at their logo, that's a polar bear, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly would believe you if you told me it was a polar bear. I wouldn't
Reserve
look at it right
time.
away and go, classic polar bear, but
I guess
it's a
I would think
feisty-looking white animal.
it's it's a bear. I guess you could just think it's in black and white, and it's just like a regular bear, but
Yeah, could be a hyena. I mean, it could be a pit bull. I don't know. It looks a little pit bull-like.
Yeah, I was thinking, yeah, it's a bit dog-like, but yeah, ferocious dog. I think it's a polar bear. I don't know.
Radiant team
Okay, so
pick.
Cloud9
Questions?
last picked the Dazzle, so maybe this is indeed a core Beastmaster. It's either a core Beastmaster or a core Skywrath.
No belief in the Solar Mid Dazzle or the Core Dazzle. No,
Well, I don't know.
I don't think
Artor's the
so,
only
but-
one that I've seen do it at least semi-recently, and he hasn't been doing it recently. So I don't know. Do you think that's more viable than the Beastmaster?
No, I think maybe they go dual lanes like Dazzle
10
bottom with the
seconds
Beastmaster
remaining.
and the Skywrath supporting the Void.
Okay.
But they're going to be worried about
5
VP
seconds
running some kind of
remaining.
aggressive dual lane or tri lane with like a Centaur Abaddon Visage or even just Centaur Abaddon. So Cloud9 may
Reserve
just
time.
be incentivized to just run a traditional defensive tri lane
Mm-hmm.
because of the chance of aggression from VP. They'll know more from the
10
VP
seconds
last pick.
remaining.
The Wraith King. Okay.
Yeah, Wraith King will need some support theoretically in the safe lane, although could 1v1 a Beastmaster, although it's a pilot die. They've done this Bone 7, like, kind of roaming / core Skywrath every now and then. He goes offlane with Pylite Eye, so I think this is like a Skywrath Beastmaster offlane, and they kind of split the farm, and Bone 7 roams a little bit if he needs to.
Interesting. So it'll be Owie 2000 on the Dazzle here. That puts Fada mid on the Ember Spirit, and EE will be farming in the safe lane here on the position 1 Faceless Void. This is a very interesting draft from Cloud9. I have to admit, I like this VP.Polar lineup just a little bit better. I also think the VP lineup fits very well with the play style that Go Black likes to draft for and that they like to execute.
Yeah.
Whereas this Cloud9 draft, I mean, I guess it's something they've done before, but I would be hard-pressed to say this is well within their comfort zone. This is sort of a funky draft they've got going on.
We'll see how things work out here. I like the potential for the Skywrath roaming. Like Skywrath can get XP bottom lane and get some farm, but then also roam mid and try and punish Death Prophet, who's a very squishy mid hero. And I feel like Death Prophet's one of the best mid heroes to be ganking early on. It's kind of
30
like the old school
seconds
Shadow
to
Fiend. Like
battle.
you see your opponents pick a Shadow Fiend mid, the traditional Shadow Fiend mid, you gank the shit out of him. So I feel like
Yeah.
Death Prophet's the new hero mid that if you can kill Death Prophet 2 to 3 times in the first 10 minutes, you're in great shape. If you don't, if Death Prophet gets free farm, doesn't get killed single time, you're in a lot of trouble. That's when Death Prophet's winning a ridiculous amount of games this patch. One of the most successful heroes in 6.71 at the moment.
Yep. Well, we'll see how it works out. Beastmaster roaming
battle
over, and
begins.
they'll try to contest this bottom room. No, okay, he'll just head back to lane. Phew. Thought he might get caught out there for a second. But it will just be a safe lane try coming out from VP.Polar. Lil will take the Visage. It will be Illidan on the position 1 Wraith King, and that puts Go Black on his Abaddon. Scandal will take mid, and no big surprise to see DK Phobos offlane on the Centaur, as you mentioned. We've seen this almost like every game out of this team. I feel like in Starladder, they've been running this offlane Centaur if it's not banned out. So a hero that he is very, very comfortable with. It will be the dual lanes that you mentioned. Bone 7 down here with Pi. That puts Fada mid with that first point in the Flame Guard there. And it will be a dual lane top. Aoi 2000 grabs a haste rune to get things started, and we'll just harass back the Centaur. The Time Walk flies through, and we'll slow him up a little bit, but connects with a nice 2-hero hoof stomp, and Centaur will be just fine.
Yeah, MV focuses a lot more on zoning out offlaners than most safe lane carry players do, and I think it's a really good way to be playing the safe lane. You get them low on regen, zone them out, and then you focus on your farm. But as far as this lane set goes overall, I favor VP. They've got the tri lane against the pesky dual lane, and center and the off lane should get quite a lot out of the lanes. Just a dual lane from Cloud9, and one with pretty minimal killing power. Void has got the slow, but there's not much actual damage output, so I think all 3 lanes favor VP, actually. So Cloud9, not to say they're going to lose because of the lane stage, but they've definitely got a slightly weaker lane in every lane.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right. And bottom Illidan finding okay farm against Pylai Die, and they are indeed splitting the farm here. A couple last hits on the Skywrath. He's found 3, and Beastmaster's found 3. So I guess they want to prioritize Bone 7 boots before he starts roaming about. Is that kind of the reason for splitting the farm instead of giving it to the Beastmaster?
I think they get them both some early boots is definitely one of the key things here. Pilot are actually gonna just go check the 2-minute rune. I was about to say what's he off to, but yeah, checking the runes here, pretty standard stuff there. I think it's if there's easy farm to get, it goes to Pilot Die early on the Beastmaster, but a lot of the farm against the tri lane, you don't want a melee hero moving forward in the lane against a tri lane where it could go down. So
yeah,
I think it's just like whoever it's safer to get the farm will get the farm.
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes some sense. Pylai Die finds a double damage, and they'll press forward, but Illidan takes an Aphotic Shield. He'll feel okay. Polar, or Lil, rather, will help secure the first blood. It is Illidan that gets the last hit, and he's stacking up those Soul Assumption charges. Not enough mana, but Pylai Die in some trouble. He'll take a stun. They'll chop him down. He'll try to turn to finish off the Visage, but that won't happen, and he will actually find a kill on Go Black as he uses a Mist Coil, and it will cost him his own life.
Yes, there will be a revenge kill, so yeah, not the end of the Virtus Pro, still well worth it though.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they drew the first blood, they got it on their position 1, so a good trade for them, but it seemed like Pylai Die was basically dead anyhow. I don't know that Mist Coil was really necessary.
He even had the 7 magic stick charges, so
yeah, I think just
a bit of an unnecessary death.
Yeah,
that I don't know what Cloud9 got way too aggressive there going in initially for to try and fight. Visage played it well with a Grave Chill. He avoided kited Pylai Die around when he had a DD rune. I think for some reason Pylai Die thought they could take on the tri-lane with a DD rune, but with the Abaddon, they're not battling this tri-lane, and they're gonna find themselves once again in a tough spot.
Yeah, Illidan taking a lot of damage, but Go Black's there with the support. Almost falls, but eats his stick charges. Now Bone 7, he'll get chased down. Go Black wants to dive this. He has a Mist Coil and an Aphotic Shield, so he should be okay. Gets off the Mist Coil, doesn't use the shield, and now we'll just use it to run back through the tower, which is attacking creeps. So now this dual lane for Cloud9 is just in shambles as VP get an easy 2-0.
That's kind of what should have happened last time. Well, maybe they give up the 1 kill when Scarif TP's back in, but yeah, that's a lot better from VP. This dual lane should be getting punished, especially now that they've got the levels on these heroes. So this is going to be tough for them now, because Illidan, yeah, he's going to TP home. He's HP depleted, as is everyone in this tri lane. So despite the fact Cloud9 got those 2 kills there, they do get back some lane control just because everyone on the VP.Polar tri lane has to go heal, has to kind of leave the lane. Although Bone 7 doesn't go back bottom, he's going to actually go for a smoke gank on mid. And talked about ganking the Death Prophet being very important. The problem is right now, Scandal's got this lane in a very good position to play defensively.
Yeah, and he does have his boots up, so maybe a chance to make a hold here. They come in, almost grab his items, and Scandal will just stand his ground, make sure he picks up his stick as it was sitting on the ground. Fada will secure the kill, but Will comes in, a lot of damage onto Bone 7. One more auto attack will bring him down. He can't find it. Now Fada looking for the double. The Searing Chains are enough to bring down the Visage, and he survives with 20 hit points to spare. Oh boy, now they get a kill on DK Phobos in the top lane. Didn't get to catch that one, but well, VP.Polar handed away some of that lead that they had. Yeah,
that was really nicely played by Fada and Bone 7 in the mid lane there, getting the first kill, then also recognizing Fata that he could get the second kill with the Searing Chains damage. So if it's Goblak TPing in there, maybe I think he could even save the Death Prophet with the shield and the heal, but Visage unable to turn that one around.
Yeah, it was really just bad timing for Scandal. He was literally microing around with his magic wand that was on the ground, so I think he panicked a little bit, and his priority was just not to have his items get picked up or killed, rather than, you know, instantly retreat as he would have otherwise. So maybe just a small bit of luck for Cloud9 in terms of the timing that they chose to go in, but regardless, the result is the same, and they clean it up. DK4 up top. I guess he just overextended a little bit. He will actually go second point and hoof stomp rather than prioritizing the double edge. That's a slightly different take on most Centaur builds also.
Yeah, I guess the nerfed hoof stomp does cost the same mana at all levels, so I guess he's in a pretty defensive spot. He's worried about getting initiated on, but it's only a very small stun increase. But
yeah. Mid lane, Fata gets aggressive onto Scandal, dives the tower, but we'll be okay with that Flame Guard on. Crypt Swarm will just tickle him, and he makes it back to his tower. No problem. Illidan still finding decent farm in the bottom lane, and now he'll initiate onto Bone 7, starts things off with the Wraithfire Blast. Lil is there with the follow-up slow and the nuke, but it's not enough to bring him down. Bone 7 survives, and now Pylai trying to turn it around onto the Visage. Now he'll take a stun from Illidan. In comes the Ember Spirit. Will find the kill on the Visage. A lot of low health heroes here. Goblak will finish off. Pylai Bone 7 on the run. Looks like he'll live as Illidan takes an Aphotic Shield, just trying to survive as Fata. Low on mana, but has the Flame Guard on. Will not be able to secure the kills. And both sides taking a lot of damage, but it's just a Beastmaster that takes a fall.
Yeah, Fata TP'd down there, but didn't have much mana, unfortunately. He actually had mana for Searing Chains for an ultimate, but he used his ulti to engage and then didn't have the mana for the Searing Chains on top of the Flame Guard. So a bit low on mana, or he could have maybe got 2 or 3 kills out of that one, but either way, probably worth the TP just to make sure they get the 1 kill, and now he's back mid working on that farm. Fata's going to be the key kind of tempo controller for Cloud9 come mid-game time.
Yeah. Top lane, DK Phobos kind of getting dove on by Aoi and Envy, but the rotation from the DP will repel them. They won't be able to pressure the tower too hard. Scandal level 7 now going for the Crypt Swarm primary build. We've seen most DPs at 7 now prioritizing the Witchcraft and then getting Exorcism at 8, but this may mean he'll try to hold the ultimate until level 9 before he really gets active and starts pushing towers down.
Yeah. Slightly more vulnerable with a tiny bit less movement speed, but I think it's slightly better to get the Witchcraft, but it's not a big deal.
No, not a huge difference. The only reason I think is just because that last point of Crypt Swarm doesn't scale as well as the others. So
Fata tried to go in mid lane to kill him there, and that's one of those cases where having that 4th point in Witchcraft with just the tiny bit of extra movement speed could maybe save your life, and turns out he was fine anyways, but small difference, and we'll see some wasted mana from Fata, but he's just fine. Down
bottom, Pylai takes a Grave Chill. There's a rotation from the Abaddon around the backside. Illidan's there with the Wraithfire Blast, and Goblak, he takes a Silence, and the Mystic Flare will just bring him down. Seems like he wasn't quite ready for that Skywrath to be level 6 and drop the full rotation. Pylai looking for a neutral deny, and he won't find it. A close call, but Illidan will secure the kill, and that makes it a 1-for-1.
I think Pylai had the neutral deny, but they used his Soul Ring, so the Wraithfire Blast killed him. It was going to take another 2 ticks from the Wraithfire Blast, but using the Soul Ring actually screwed himself over there. So not the right time to use the Soaring, but not the end of the world. So we'll see Bone 7 keep stacking these Ancients, so there's a lot of farm waiting for Pylai in the form of these Ancients, which is good news for the Beastmaster player.
Yep. Nice 4-stack now, so that is one good thing about the Beastmaster. He has that recovery mechanism in the Wild Axes. They're only level 2 right now, prioritizing the Call of the Wild, and of course has the Primal Roar up, or leveled up rather. But VP.Polar, they were off to a great start, and all of a sudden Cloud9 just pulling it ahead up in the top lane. They finish off the tower. Envy finding a lot of farm. He's the last hit leader, #1 on net worth by a big margin. Not going for the Midas here, but instead going for this more fighting build with the Mask of Madness power treads. Down in the bottom lane, Pylai taking a lot of damage from Illidan. He wants to dive it, but 2 TPs come through, and now Envy ready to punish. Has a Chrono Spear, may try to save it. Yeah, they shouldn't even need it. Searing Chains connect as Fata comes in. They'll bring down the Wraith King, and that secures a kill for Cloud9.
Yeah. And Envy happy to rotate out of the lane, because AUI, one of those support players, will be like, okay, great, I'll take this lane now. And this is a very common sight from Cloud9. Envy either falls back to the jungle when he's something like a Doom, goes and ganks, gives AUI some farm as well as some time to get some more experience in the safe lane.
Fada all over the rune control, has a double damage rune on, bottles up an illusion. It seems like he's had more runes than he hasn't for sure, as this bottom tier 1 tower takes some damage. Glyph comes out, Illidan TP's in to try and isolate Envy, but out comes the Primal Roar to buy him some time. Fada around the other side, Searing Chains on 2 heroes, doing a lot of damage to the supports. Now the Chrono from Envy around the other side of the fight. They will lose their Skywrath Mage, but Visage has already gone down, and Fada trying to finish off Go Black. A Photic Shield flies through, and he'll be forced back. Cloud9 on the other side of the tree line, just trying to make the escape, and it will end as a 1-for-1 Skywrath for the Visage. Tower stays standing with plenty of hit points to spare, and it's a nice hold from VP.Polar.
Yeah, good hold from VP.Polar. I don't know how Fada does it. He gets a 2-hero Searing Chains when there's like 4 creeps next to him. That's some serious RNG coming out there, which helps secure the only kill Cloud9 got. But as you said, VP, I think, pretty happy with that exchange. Abaddon stayed alive. He only just now hits level 6, and that's an important level for your support Abaddon to be reaching. It means he's guaranteed to stay alive in the fight to protect teammates. Otherwise, you can just burst him down to start the fight, and suddenly there's no Abaddon to worry about.
Eternal Envy has his Mask of Madness complete. We saw in that last fight, so he has some pretty serious kill potential as him and Owie move into the top tier 2 tower. Dazzle finding a lot of solo farm time now with 1,500 gold up. We'll see what he wants to move into next. We'll use a defensive weave, but Owie in some trouble. Will get stunned up. We'll just try to Grave TP. They've got no way to interrupt it. They started off with the Wraithfire Blast, and the Dazzle lives.
Yeah, they had to. I guess if they don't use the Wraithfire Blast, Owie just runs away. So it's kind of like you're damned either way.
Yeah, certainly. Now Fada, he may get converged on here, diving the tower just a little bit. Does manage to get out the Remnant, and Phobos will whiff the stun. Nicely played by Fada to be rather elusive there, and pulling all their attention, make some space for Bone7 and Pylai to pressure the bottom tier 1 tower. And it looks like they'll be able to finish it off. No glyph available.
Yeah, very good sequence of events for Cloud9. Avoiding ganks, getting a tier 1 tower. They now can focus their efforts on defending this mid-tier 1 tower, although it's going to go down. They could try and take a fight with Dazzle about to arrive.
Yeah, Fada will go right in on the DK Phobos. He uses the Stampede, but it won't save you from the Searing Chains. Now Visage Familiars come in for the stuns. Owie's there with the heals. No Shallow Grave up. It's still on cooldown. Only level 1 when it was used last, so has to wait 60 seconds. We'll start skilling it up now. But again, space creation for Envy, pressuring these towers, and this is where Cloud9 really shines. This is their bread and butter. Forcing fights around the map and constantly pressuring side lanes, staying spread out, and just working the map so much more efficiently than their opposition.
Blade Mail and Ember Spirit. That's an interesting change from the normal drums build. It gives you the same kind of mana that this hero needs, that the drums gives you. So, all right, we'll see something a bit different. Good against the Death Prophet, great against... I mean, Centaur can't use his combo on you if you've got the Blade Mail on, and he gets so aggressive with the Blade Mail protection.
Scandal almost falls, but the Abaddon comes in and will heal him up with the Aphotic Shield. Yeah, it's sort of reminiscent of why Nature's Prophet has been grabbing the Blade Mail so much recently. It gives you a lot of right-click damage, gives you some nice tankability, and as you mentioned, that mana pool is kind of a big deal on the Ember Spirit. So we'll see how this works for Fada. I like it, but a little bit funky. We'll have to see it in action before we can really judge it properly, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of this build at the moment. I haven't seen it just yet. We'll see him actually catch up Go Black here in the trees, and Go Black with ultimate though.
Yep, Borrowed Time is available. It will get procced pretty early on, and Fada
wants to go back in with the Blade Mail.
Yep, and he'll hop out. Pylai, meanwhile, is just killing this big stack of Ancients, so we'll see his farm really jump up from kind of poor to being pretty damn close to a Blink Dagger. Just has to wait for that Soul Ring, and he'll just keep spamming the axes.
Yeah, having a merry time here. Bone7 leeching the experience as well, so... Bone7, I'm guessing a misclick. He got level 2 concussive shot. This is not a good spell to be leveling up in general. Often you see most Skyraths get stats over leveling it up, because it's just the cooldown that change. The damage is... I mean, the damage is there, but it's not like a huge deal. The leveled up Ancient Seal is just so good.
Yep. Searing Chains in the mid lane, connects on 2 heroes, but they'll be able to make the escape as Familiars come in, stop Fada dead in his tracks. He has a double damage rune on, so he wants to be aggressive. DK Phobos, fake pump into stun, but there's the Stampede. They'll turn on to Fada, and they'll drop the hammer. 550 gold, ending that dominating streak, going the way of the Visage. Now they'll go on to Owie. He takes a stun. Maybe he can Grave TP. There's the Grave, but this time there's a Centaur inbound. Has a Hoof Stomp coming up in just a second, and nothing Owie can do besides stand his ground, try and do a little bit of damage. But in the end, it will not be a successful effort.
Yeah. This is kind of the for Cloud9, like they've Beastmaster and Scarlet have just been spending the last minute and a half clearing the sanctions, which is nice and all, but it means the rest of the team are playing without numbers. So VP are just punishing the fact that these heroes are so distracted clearing these ancients. Void is getting his farm, finding his own space, but now VP are in the Roshan pin. This is a Radiant team taking Roshan. This is something Cloud9 were maybe planning on taking for themselves.
Yeah, they will have an option to contest it, and it looks like they want to do it. Roche falling very slowly, despite the minus armor and the ultimate from DP. Mystic Flare comes in, softens them up quite a bit. They need to hop in now. Wraith King will be the one to grab the Aegis. It's killed by the Radiant. Centaur finds the kill on Eternal Envy right away. It'll cost him his life. Now the Ember Spirit falls. In comes Illidan. He loses the reincarnation, but still holding on to the Aegis. It's a great fight for Virtus.Pro, and they lose just their Centaur for a Roche, an Aegis, and 2 kills on the cores of Cloud9.
Very heads-up play from VP, knowing that they've got the Exorcism, they have the Medallion, they can just get in there and force Cloud9 to come and try and stop it. Like, that was going to be a fight that VP win regardless. They knew Chronosphere was still on cooldown from earlier, so VP were like, well, even if they come, even if they bring in Fata, who's pretty farmed, pretty high level, and have a Roar, like, maybe we lose 1 or 2, but overall the fight was going to be very good for VP, so we'll see them now with an Aegis in hand for the next fight or 2. And Illidan, I think, about to pick up a Blink Dagger as well, so this is a really nice time to have an Aegis on a Wraith King when he just gets the Blink Dagger.
Yeah. The only thing that was sort of unfortunate is that Wraith King died right before hitting level 11, so that reincarnation will be stuck on cooldown for the super long duration, so it may end up being more of a wasted Aegis of the Immortal than otherwise would have been, and we'll see this up top. He'll get initiated on, Mystic Flare flies through, and, well, goodbye to the Aegis of the Immortal. That didn't last long, but, well, still all right, I suppose. Cloud9 will be happy just to trade a Mystic Flare to get that second life out of play.
Yeah, that's a good little quick rotation there. Unfortunately, the VP supports just weren't quite in position to scout that one out or protect him. But even so, I don't think VP really will. Maybe they go for this top tier 1 tower with the Exorcism, but they've got to be very careful of Fata.
Fata goes in onto Lil. He'll just TP home, and it's a close call, but he does make it out. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Pylai Die gets initiated on, gets a Grave from the Dazzle. Will just try to TP out, but there's the hoof stomp from Phobos. And they will find the kill on the Beastmaster. So 1-0 across the map as the Visage barely survives. And VP.Polar once again gaining a little bit of momentum here. Good stuff.
We saw in the MYM game, like when these blinks start coming up, that's when you can kind of start to snowball. And Centaur and Wraith King both just now pick up their blinks, and this is where farming suddenly gets very dangerous for Cloud9. Although Cloud9 say, we don't need a farm, we're going to go find some kills. And under the tier 2 bottom tower, Envy catches out the Visage.
Yeah, in comes Phobos though, connects with some decent damage. The heal bomb from Owie doing a lot in return. Throws out the mostly defensive weave, and will just TP home. Go Black with no way to interrupt it. And they'll just find that solo kill on Visage and almost get one on the Centaur, as Owie does a lot of damage to him. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Fata dives onto Scandal, connects with Searing Chains, and Bone Seven's there with the Mystic Flare setup right after DP comes out of her own Yules. So one of those items, core on DP, but against the Skywrath sometimes makes his job just a little bit easier.
Yeah. And Cloud9 are playing this well. They constantly just like have these 2-man ganking squads. Like they have the Skywrath with the Ember up top. They have the Dazzle with the Void down bottom. They're making it so they don't have to fight VP in a 5v5 engagement, which is where like you're fighting into Exorcism as well as Abaddon, who is just so good at dealing with spells like Roar and just... Abaddon, it's so hard for him to know where he needs to be on the map when there's these small ganking squads from Cloud9 just all over the place. So Cloud9's overall setup is just really good right now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Now they'll press towards the mid lane, or I guess just Fata will, trying to solo down this tower, but Virtus.Pro will come to its defense in big numbers. A 4-hero rotation towards the mid, and tower will stay standing, and it gets pushed into deny range, and they will chop it down. So nice little play there, minimizing the income for Cloud9, but I think C9 will mostly be happy just to have that access point on the map taken down. Now this opens up a lot more Roche possibilities for them, and a lot more difficult for Virtus.Pro to try to contest the pit coming up in, 5 to 8 minutes time.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah. Cloud9 not the craziest Roche. Envy. Whoa!
Ooh. That's a lot of burst damage there. Centaur starts it off, and Abaddon's there with the miscoil to bring him down.
No backtracks, I guess, is the sad news.
Yeah.
Any one of the... I guess it was, what, 3 main nukes? Yeah, double edge, hoof stomp, and the miscall. So chances are you may not get a backtrack there, and yeah.
Especially given he only has 2 points in it, so 15% chance. The odds were not in his favor on that one. So, nice pick off for VP.Polar, though, finishing off that position 1 void. He does have the Maelstrom up now, 2,400 gold. I reckon he'll be looking for the Mjolnir coming out next.
Often you see the casual Maelstrom just for the chain lightning procs and doing great damage, but we'll see. I like the Aghanim Scepter build after the Maelstrom, just because the way Cloud9 are playing, they're just constantly going for like these small little fights, and that's where having an Aghanim Scepter could really work nicely with this kind of a play.
Yeah.
AUI, oh my god, tucked in.
Wow.
Right next, Goblack was even like scouting these trees. So is Phobos. He's like, I wonder if AUI's here.
That is a nice little cranny that you don't normally see. It's oh no, come out. Now Envy's here. They'll jump onto Lil. Phobos is inbound, looking to do some damage to AUI, but they'll be able to bring down the Visage to get things started. Uses the Grave, maybe a little bit early, but that means they'll start to focus him down. It is level 4, so he has pretty short cooldown on it. Now the rest of VP.Polar coming in. Bone 7 does get stunned up from the Wraith King. Stampede is used. They'll be able to bring him down with the Mistcoil Crypt Swarm nuke. Bada comes in to do as much damage as he can. Owie pops the Grave. Will he try to TP home? Nope. Won't even go for it. Too many stuns available. Actually, there were no stuns available. They're both out of mana.
Well, Illidan just used his last stun, so like he graved himself and then Illidan stunned. So by the time his TP, like he wouldn't have been able to TP because the grave would have worn off.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I gotcha.
VP were safe on that one.
Yeah. So Cloud9, they take a little bit of a tumble, and now Scandal will use his ultimate down in the bottom lane. They'll look to pressure this tier 1 tower. Glyph comes out on both sides of the coin as Cloud9 actually trying to pressure the tier 2 in the mid lane. Envy's here, no ultimate, but they've got a Primal Roar, and that'll be enough to bring down Phobos on the Centaur. They will lose their tier 1 in the bottom lane, but at least they get a kill out of it, and now they will just make the retreat.
All right, and you got Calder. Envy is going to pick up the Mjolnir. He's got the recipe and enough for the Hyperstone, so his damage output going to get pretty damn strong now with this Mjolnir, given the extra attack speed and the Mjolnir effect as well in these fights.
Yep. More attack speed generally means more time locks, so yeah, you never know. But sometimes you see that Eggs build coming out straight away, and he could possibly move into it after this. Envy is not one who's afraid to pick up a slightly delayed Aghanim Scepter on this hero. So time will tell. But Goblack in the top lane, Invisibility Rune on. He'll bump right into Bone 7. And VP.Polar may be looking to set up a kill here. We see rotations coming in from the Visage as well as the Centaur. Stampede is available. And Familiar's flying over. Bone 7, you're in a little bit deep, my friend. Yeah, that'll be an easy one.
Yeah. Cloud9, I think those are the kind of kills I don't mind giving up too much because they're pressuring other lanes. They've got Fata and AUI at bottom, farming as well as applying pressure. And Bone 7, not the most important of kills for VP game. Not to say they won't take it, but Fata, bottom lane, dodges a Wraithfire Blast with a Sleight of Fist. Really nicely played, but he's still... well, he's not in trouble. He gets the nice Fire Remnant out of there. So nice gank avoid from Fata there.
Yeah. It's not super easy to disjoint with Sleight of Fist. You can get it. The Wraithfire Blast has kind of a slow misto, so I guess one of the easier abilities, but still a nicely done little exchange. Owie now kind of coming online with this Dazzle. Has just a nice mix of core items, Arcane Boots, Medallion, and Urn. Kind of everything a Dazzle needs to have a big impact. Some solo kill potential with that Medallion if someone is silly enough to man up on him, and plenty of sustainability with the Urn and Arcane Boots. How's Pylai Dai doing? He's now on a Necro level 3 following his Tranquil Boots and Soul Ring. So he has some pushing power now, and of course a lot of utility. We saw the power of the mana burn in games prior today versus the Wraith King. So not too surprised to see a Necro book coming out here in this match.
Yeah, and we'll hope with Roshan potentially as well, which is respawning in the next minute or so, and even the map control just from dewarding. So all in all, Cloud9's position very good. I mean, you can just see all these creep waves are just always constantly pushed out. VP.
Wait, look at this. Damage from Pylai Dai, the level 3 Necro units. This should be a dead Scandal. Yeah, the Necronomicon units will finish him down. Illidan does what he can to try and turn it, but now Illidan, yeah, he's out of mana. Pylai Dai, he used the Primal Roar to set up the other kill, so I don't know that he'll be able to find this one, but Fata comes in and he sure as hell will be able to do it, unless Goblack is there, cleanses off the chains right away. and he will still continue to press forward. Illidan won't survive. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, the rest of Cloud9 are all grouped up. They found a kill onto the Centaur while we were watching this. Go Black will proc his unborrowed time. Pylai Die pressing in, just throwing the axes, completely repelling him, and just space creation. The other 3 members of Cloud9 take out a free tier 2 tower down bottom, and Cloud9 will look to retreat and probably head towards the Roche pit.
That's one of those like sequence of events which is just disastrous for VP. They lose so much control of this game. Lose towers, lose important kills as well on their 2 main core heroes, Death Prophet and Wraith King, both dying to a Beastmaster for the most part. Okay, Fata comes in to help finish off the Wraith King there, but this is going to lead into Roshan as well, and Cloud9 just, they get a huge lead out of that.
Yeah, and they get the huge stack once more. Something else that has just been a disparity in favor of Cloud9. Virtus.Pro have really no way to clear Ancients too effectively. There's just a small Drake hidden there. I think that was Cloud9 that actually did that and left the small Drake, so they wouldn't have much to retreat to. But they've been on point with stacking these Ancients and just furthering their lead, as now they should be able to grab Roche pretty easily with all this minus armor.
Yeah. Well, VP, I would love to contest this, but just aren't really in a position to do so. So Scandal's picked up a Reaver, which is okay and all, but he needs a heart as well as more than that, I feel, to take on Cloud9. Envy's doing enough damage that he can just burst down the DP in Chronosphere, even with a Heart of Tarrasque.
Yep, and ooh, interesting time for a pause here, right as Roche goes down. His body still hasn't despawned yet, but
Cloud9 have time to decide who do we want the Aegis on.
Yep. Bone7 will be TPing out. They're starting to converge on him, but it looks like he'll be able to make it in time. Even if Phobos used a Stampede, he wouldn't be able to close the gap fast enough. And Roshan has a cool death animation. Let's check it out. Ali will go roleplay mode, and it's kind of cool, actually. His body kind of implodes from the inside.
Oh, I'm in the potato graphics settings. I don't see any of this. I remember I had this issue last time with the mid-air Wraith Fire Blast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you were like, what? I wonder if he threw the stun. I'm like, it's pretty obvious. There's a big skull flying out. You're like, oh, I don't have the skull.
I just see, like, I see the full Roshan still standing. Like, it just goes from, like, fully alive to fully dead. And, yeah, I missed that animation.
Oh, boy. So it will be Envy who picks up the Aegis of the Immortal this time. And will just spread out around the map. Bone7 now grabs a Blink Dagger here on the Skywrath Mage, as he did successfully TP out from that bout of bottom pressure. And yeah, right away, Cloud9 just spread out, and they go right back to farming following Roche. Even a, wow, Blink Dagger on the Dazzle now, too.
Yeah, this is just annoying stuff to deal with. Like, this is where AUI can just kind of be, like, solo kind of in these lanes a little bit, and try to use his Blink to escape, although Goblet cancels it, and AUI gonna have to do some fogging here to get this Blink off.
Yeah, he should. Worst case, he can just grave TP out. While we're looking at that, they will find a kill onto the Wraith King, kind of towards the mid lane, and they'll press forward. Fata looking for Lil. He has a double damage rune on. He'll try to TP home, but that one's not going to happen. As we see the Dazzle die in the mid lane, Ali does get finished off down bottom as Centaur joins the party. So 1 for 2 across the map as all these little skirmishes have broken out, but obviously it is Cloud9 that have come out ahead. Now Go Black, he'll get caught out by Fata. Borrowed time will keep him safe, but oh, Chrono on 3 from Eternal Envy. He'll go right onto Scandal. He'll be the first one to go down, and now they'll just continue pressing forward. Phobos with a hoof stomp, but Fata, Sleight of Fist at the ready, gets caught in the Yules. That'll slow him down instead. He'll just get 4 steps forward, and, or pardon me, Envy will time walk forward. That's my mistake. Right onto the Abaddon. It's falling apart for Virtus.Polar here. Cloud9 looking like that they just have the momentum to keep taking these great exchanges.
Yeah, they need to get this last out of tower, and Fata getting close to his second Battle Fury. Just 500 gold away. This tower will be the money he needs to get that second Battle Fury. So item pickups just kind of surmounting for Cloud9.
Yeah, Fata gets initiated on, but does some damage with Sleight of Fist, and then just hops to a Fire Remnant out back. Will find the deny on the tower, but very minor victory for Virtus.Polar at this point. The access points are almost more important than the gold income, and now they are out of outer towers, and Cloud9 just have full run of the map. Envy with a time... That was weird. He time walked like that. A little tiny gap, and then...
Yeah, I mean, You miss every shot you don't take, and when you've got Nag and Scepter, you can take a lot of shots, but...
Yeah, I'm just
Still
more
was
curious
not a good one.
why he time walked in such a short little path there. Still trying like it was like he was trying to hide in the tree line and catch him off guard with the chrono. Pylai would get left behind as they stampede to secure the kill on him. But I mean, the whiffed chrono is one thing, but it was that like little baby time walk that almost stood out as a little more strange.
For VP, yeah, they're going to start... This is one of their few chances where they can actually 5-man and not have to defend other lanes. So I like this movement. They don't have to stampede, but that's okay. Problem is, Weave and Void's going to be coming in soon with the Chronosphere, so this could ruin their day.
Oh man, Fada with the double Battle Fury, just doing so much cleave damage here. He's getting healed up by the Dazzle, will take a shallow grave. Envy with a big Chrono on 3, a lot of follow-up damage coming from Cloud9. Scandal stuck inside of the Chrono with the Exorcism on. It just doesn't matter. An Ultra Kill for Envy comes out. It's a 4-for-1. They lose only the... Oh, no, it's a 4-for-0. Pylai was dead from the fight before. Now GoBlack, he's the lone survivor. He's got no borrowed time, and this should be a full 5-for-0 team wipe. And that was even a 5v4 coming into it.
Yeah, that was a great... Envy somehow hit like a 3-man Chrono and didn't get Fata inside the Chronosphere as well. That was really impressive stuff. Fata gets off the Sleight of Fist and AUI with the Clutch Grave as well to save Fata. So
Yep.
The Cloud9 just execution is really on point right now.
Yeah. So now this Golden Experience League getting close to 20,000, and the hopes for VP.Polar quickly evaporating. Item progression is just non-existent as they've taken back-to-back team fights.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And now Cloud9 will just press forward with no Exorcism. I think they can feel pretty comfortable just trying to break high ground. Wraith King's also only 15. That means the Reincarnation will be stuck on cooldown for quite a while longer. And with the Ag Scepter, they've got another Chrono ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, no. Envy may consider going for this. Weave is down, and Illidan is not level 16. He has not got Reincarnation back up.
Bone 7's disconnected, and nobody really seems to care.
That's awkward.
This is a little awkward. He's just...
There we go, he's back.
Okay, phew, that was just a quick one, and now they'll go right in onto Scandal. Him and Illidan stuck inside of the Chrono. But, yeah, will cost them their Wraith King. He'll buy back right away. Envy doesn't get to do as much damage as he would like, but he does have the Aegis of the Immortal, so he can afford to be very aggressive here, taking a lot of damage. Scandal almost goes down to the Battle Fury of Fada. Now he'll press forward and pops the Blade Mail. Wants to finish him off inside the well, can't find it. Now Fada going in very deep. That will cost him his life, but zoning out the forces of VP.Polar allows Envy just to clean up the rest of the team. And they'll lock down the Abaddon after his ultimate has expired. Bottom lane of Rax have since gone down. Scandal uses his ultimate at very low hit points and almost needs to be kind of careful here as they could jump on him, but Cloud9 on the back foot, and they will head back to safety, at least for now.
Very, very, very positive about that Fata plays, zoning out the enemy team. That was a bit of a dive, but at that point, yeah. It was,
you know, he was zoning them, but yeah, you're right. It was very, very greedy. Here we go. Chronosphere comes out, and yeah, that's the game-winning Chrono. So Envy redeems himself from the one whiff in the mid lane, and Cloud9 with a pretty convincing win over VP.Polar. Started off a little bit rocky in that laning phase. The duo off lane for Eternal Envy was, or why did I say Eternal? For Cloud9 was not quite ideal, but they recovered, and throughout the mid game, their execution was just on point.
Yeah, Cloud9 just good draft, good synergy between a lot of their heroes, and just great job of splitting the map and not allowing GoBlack with this annoying 5-man lamp to ever really do just that. They didn't get a chance to 5-man until it was too late. Like, that 5-man minute at the end was the right idea, but you look at Fata with double Battle Fury, Envy with Mjolnir Aghanim Scepter, you're just too far behind on items to win a fight like that. So if VP could have done that 10 minutes earlier, I think they would have been in good shape, but Cloud9 just never allowed that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, we even saw like the kind of final turning point was when Virtus.Pro went up to push that tier 2 tower in mid, and they had that huge team wipe. And to start off the fight, Fada took the Wraith King down to half health just from all the cleaves from the double Battle Fury. If you start off a fight with your heroes already down to like 60, 70% HP, it makes the follow-up just so much easier. Eternal Envy can come in and just clean house, chain lightnings bouncing all over the place, and Cloud9 secure the win. So we have one more game coming up today, and it's MYM versus Fnatic. It's scheduled to start here in about 20 minutes, so we'll have a little break and then get right into it. But based on MYM's upset over Empire earlier today, it should be a good match to round off our coverage. Fnatic has only played a couple of games in this group stage. I think they're only 2-0 right now, so they still have a lot to prove, and we'll see a lot more of Fnatic coming out. So we'll see what they can do against MYM here, Gods.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to more Fnatic and seeing if they can keep their good streak in Starladder going. As you said, just 2-0, so a lot of matches to go, but definitely a kind of dark horse team as far as their new roster is concerned in Starladder.
Definitely. So again, we'll have a break, guys, and we're coming on back for one more match.